The arbor knot is used to attach the line to the reel's arbor for spooling a reel. Any line type can be used. Monofilament, fluorocarbon, and braided line are all acceptable. First, guide the line under the bail and around the arbor. Make the first overhand knot over the standing end. Then make the second overhand knot. Tighten the second overhand knot. Tighten the entire arbor knot by pulling from the standing end. Turning the crank will begin to spool the reel. An optional choice is to add a small piece of tape before cranking to prevent line slip. Before we get to the arbor knot on a baitcaster, I just want to point out the bail position on the spinning reel. This is the bail open. This is the bail closed. It's perfectly fine to pre-make the arbor knot and then slide it over the arbor. However, in this case, the bail is closed and the line will not be caught by the bail. Either add the knot over the arbor with the bail open, or, like we are seeing now, sliding it under the closed bail. The line will be caught appropriately. An arbor knot is really just two overhand knots along a line, where an overhand knot is just putting the line over and under and back over itself once to create a loop that can tighten upon itself. Since I animated the arbor knot on a spinning reel, we'll now respool one of my Shimano baitcasters with the same arbor knot. The first step is to remove the old line. You'll notice that I used a fluorocarbon as the line on top of my arbor previously because it doesn't slip like braided would on the arbor. However, that requires a uni-to-uni knot to attach the braided line to the fluoro line. So here, I'm just going to take everything off and I'm going to attach some new 40-pound braided to the arbor. This is also the time to give the reel a small clean with water, as well as to oil and grease where needed. First, feather the line through the eyelet. Then feed the line under the arbor. Pliers may be needed to grab the other end of the line. Be careful not to nick your arbor. With the line under the arbor, pull out enough line to work with. Then proceed to make the first overhand knot. The first overhand knot will go over or include the standing end. This just involves pinching the line on top of itself, then feathering the line underneath itself, and then back over itself to create a loop. Then proceed to create the second overhand knot at the end of the exposed line. Again, that's just putting the line over itself, underneath itself, and back over itself to create a loop. Tighten this loop. Proceed to almost entirely tighten the first overhand loop. Then pull the standing end, or where the spool is, to bring the two overhand knots together. They will catch on each other. Because this is braided line, it will most likely slip on the arbor. Add a small piece of tape over the line on the arbor. Then gently reel with some resistance for a small number of cranks to get the spooling started. Poking a hole in the stick on the spool and finding a pencil or screwdriver will make spooling easier. Also, finding an assistant to hold the line will be helpful. Begin cranking while making sure to apply some resistance to the line. Notice that my thumb and index finger are slightly squeezing the line as I am spooling. The line should be taut or tight when spooling onto the reel. Your assistant can also add a little bit of resistance on the spool so the line doesn't come out too fast. Be sure that the line is going on evenly and not to overspool the reel. In this case, don't go higher than the gold rim. I typically respool my reels every year. I fish a lot, so I don't want weathered lines sitting on my reels too long. A few other useful knots are posted on my website and here on the KNFS YouTube channel. Fish responsibly and good luck.